Keep your head up. You're not alone. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. We're halfway home.
It's time for Your Voices of Hope, a video podcast program that offers straight talk on some of the major issues facing us today: addiction, domestic violence, homelessness, human trafficking, and suicide. But more than that, it's our desire to inspire hope. Now, your host, Michelle Byer.
Welcome to Your Voices of Hope. I am your host, Michelle Byer. You can listen to all my past shows on my website, yourvoicesofhope.com. And please go like me on Facebook, Your Voices of Hope. I'd like to welcome back my guest. Yes, I said welcome back. My guest today is James Fye. Hi, James.
Hello.
And the reason that I say welcome back is because James was on my radio show, Addiction, Voices of Hope, June 26th, 2014. That's 6 years ago.
It was a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. And I actually listened to that today.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so cool. That was a nice interview to listen to because now I get to see, I know where you were.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to hear what you're doing now, how far you've come. So back then, James, you were a freshman in nursing school.
Yes.
And so we're going to leave it at that for a moment. And we're going to refresh everybody that you are in recovery for alcohol as your main substance.
Yep.
You used cocaine.
Yes. And
we both agreed then that it was a very nice thing that we liked at the time, which was bad for us.
Yes.
And we're actually just about 2 months shy of each other being sober, at the same time. So we're both 10 years sober now.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so my sobriety date is December 24th, Christmas Eve, 2010. So Christmas of this year will be 10 years.
And I'm 10 years now.
Okay.
So we're close.
Close enough.
I'm older than you.
Well,
I'm actually older than you, really. So I'm 53 soon. So you started drinking back when you were a freshman.
So yeah,
actually, you started drinking with the freshmen.
Yes.
When you were 12.
Yeah. So. A quick story I usually tell this in a lot of my leads is this is the moment that I remember. So my mom had gone back to college and we moved to University of Kentucky campus. I was going 7th into 8th grade, was that summer, 12, 13 years old. And family and freshman housing at University of Kentucky was together, was apartment complexes, and half the buildings were family, the other half were freshmen. So we moved in the summer, nobody was there, it was really boring, really blah. And then all of a sudden it starts move-in time and all these freshmen start coming in. So all of these 18-year-old kids are coming for their first year, their freshman year of college, and pretty soon parties start. It was like that first weekend. I had gotten to know a lot of the guys and a lot of the people in the school just because, everybody had a little brother that they left at home. So I kind of became the dorm housing everybody's little brother. And there was a big party this weekend and there were kegs and I ended up hanging out and at the parties and getting in and drinking. And I remember going home that night. I threw up. I can clearly remember laying on the bathroom floor, that cool bowl on my cheek, and my mother coming in and looking at me, and I could see it clear as day. She says, "Well, I think you learned your lesson. I think that this has punished you more than I could, and you learned about drinking tonight. So don't do it. Be smart. Let's not do this again. Never do it again. Well, never, never, never. Stumbled off to bed, woke up the next morning, and I was like, oh, that was fun. Let's do that again.
Right.
So
that just progressed
it
over the years.
progressed all the way through. It progressed on through high school. It progressed through life. Progressed for many, many years.
You had one divorce. Now
Yeah.
you're married again. And how long? You've been married for how long now?
We are married 14 years, 2006. Gosh, I hope I got that right.
Sorry if you didn't. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
So, yeah.
And back then, your son was 7.
When I got sober, yes.
Okay.
No, he was 4. When we were interviewed, yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah. When we were doing the interview, he was 7. And so he is how old now? Because I'm not good at math.
13.
13.
13 now. So
Okay.
I have a 13-year-old teenage boy.
Ooh, fun. Yeah,
Yes.
It's kind of like the 14-year-old grandson and 15-year-old granddaughter we have.
Well, I don't have those as of yet, so.
Well, these are Gary's. I'm too young.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay, so, and now we're back to the freshman in college that you were 6 years ago, and you were going to nursing school. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. You sent me that link today, and I listened to the piece as well. And yeah, I was second semester in a nursing school, excited, scared, and to look at where I am at today. I made it through nursing school, graduated nursing school. I have been a nurse now for three years. Going on 4, coming on 4 years, and actually work for ComQuest and work in recovery. So it was kind of interesting because your piece, one of the ads for your addiction voice of hope is Keith.
Yes,
and
it is.
And you know, it's funny to hear that. And now today he's my boss and a friend. So
Yes.
it's totally full circle. It's amazing.
But wait a minute. What's even funnier is back then it was just Quest Recovery and Prevention Services.
Yeah, they had not even merged.
That's right. So that
I saw you posted today, wasn't you had the picture of all of them where you were celebrating your first year.
Yes. And Keith was there.
Yep.
Keith has such a special place in my heart. He was always right on board with everything, you know, with me. He supported me so much through everything. So he has a very special place in my heart, and he's such a good guy. Yeah. So I'm sure you enjoy your job there. And I know you couldn't tell me otherwise anyway. So.
No, I can actually say, I mean, when I graduated nursing school, this was not the first job that I took out of nursing school. I went and worked at a hospital, went and worked on the floor, worked in the ER, and realized very, very quickly, because previous to nursing school, I was a firefighter. So I thought, all those years I picked them up, took them there. Now I'll take over and do it on this side. And came to realize that my recovery and my personal program had to be a part of my work. That I really didn't want to be that type of a nurse. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. The opportunity with ComQuest was given, and I truly do. I love what I do. I love getting up and going to work every day. I talk program. I work with people. You know, my own recovery is 100 times better because of what I get to do professionally.
Mm-hmm. And I believe that of when you are sober and you get into a profession that helps you, that deals with sobriety, addiction, mental health, that field, I believe it helps keep you accountable.
Oh, yeah.
And it also, I learn from my peers because they could teach me something that I don't know or didn't think of, you know, or make me remember of someplace I don't want to be.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. There's many days at work that the discussions that we're having, that is basically you look around and I'm like, well, I guess we're having a meeting. You know, I mean, it's the people in the field and the people that I work with, you know, 9 times out of 10, it ends up talking about, or if I've got somebody, you know, if there's something that's bothering me, you've got that person, you've got that recovery support that's right around you. And sometimes it even comes from the clients, you know, somebody on day one. I work in detox, you know, I see them straight off the street. And sometimes even that person, you don't need 20 years, you don't need 10 years or a year. I've gotten some of the wisest advice in moments that make me just shake inside from somebody who's fresh.
Yes.
And, you know,
I had a guest that way. She was 19 years old from the Deliverance House. Oh my gosh. You would have thought she was 30, 40 years old with the advice that she was giving to people on air. When you were in nursing school, how old were you?
I started when I was 40. I was a 40-year-old freshman, not a virgin, 40-year-old freshman.
I love that. That's great. I'm not even going to go any further. So with that, how difficult was it to go back to school? And did you feel like my brain is fried? How am I going to get through? Because nursing school is not easy. You know, I looked into a program in the nursing facility at Altman, the one I went back there a couple years ago with Gary. I wanted to be an ultrasound tech. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't even get in through those doors with that test. There's like no way.
That's actually the program I graduated from.
I left.
It was without a doubt the hardest thing I ever did. It was, you know, we say your recovery has to come first. And recovery for me always comes first. My family came second, and I tried to put nursing school third. And it eventually got to a point that I looked at my family and said, if I'm going to do this, nursing school was the priority. It was what I did. It was what I had to do. Hardest thing I ever did. But I can tell you, most amazing journey that I've had. It was to look back and know, you know, it was tough. There were days I didn't think I was going to make it. There were classes I didn't pass. But I picked up and I got back and I did it again, you know.
That's the beauty of recovery.
Yes.
Because we have to learn there's no failing. We can stumble.
Yeah.
But we don't fail. We stumble and we get right back up and we do it again and again and again and again and again and again. And eventually we're going to get it right. Yeah.
It was exactly it. So often my steps and my tools and, you know, what I did through recovery and getting sober, it carried over. It was a part of, you know, I stepped my way through nursing school. I've said it before.
I remember when you posted that piece of paper on Facebook and I was like, wow, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great accomplishment. It's a major accomplishment because there's so much, I cringe at the math.
Yeah.
My sister did, what is that with the needles? Hematologist? No, that's not it.
Lobotomist?
That. Oh my gosh. With all I was like, oof. And she passed with $40. I'm like, oh my gosh. But, so that is amazing. And did you ever see yourself there years and years and years ago?
In
nursing school, graduating?
You know, I always knew that it was what I wanted to do. I always knew, you know, even when I was a fireman, you know, we'd be sitting at the firehouse and the bells go off and everybody's tripping over themselves to go and hop on the big red truck and go running off to fight the fire. I've always been medical. I've always,
Okay.
give me the body parts, I'll pick them up, I'll put them back together. I always knew that it was what I wanted to do. It was just never making that commitment or being honest enough to say that, okay, this is what you want to do, go do it.
Okay. And now since, it was a while that I hadn't seen you other than Facebook. And then all of a sudden I'm at this Conquest event with my husband in August. And there's this amazing man up on stage giving scholarships out. And here comes James Fye walking out on the stage. And I'm like, I know him, and my memory is not always the best because like I knew you, but I couldn't place you. And even when you said that I interviewed you, I still had to think about it. But
Right.
of course, there's only one, there's something that stands out about you that I won't forget. But I was like, wow, what are you doing with Be a Better Me? Because Lamar Sharp, Be a Better Me is an amazing organization for kids.
Yeah.
How did you get hooked up with that?
So I am actually the vice president of the foundation. I've known Lamar for many years. My wife works for CSE Credit Union.
Okay.
So
does his wife.
Yes, Deidre works there as well. We've known them through the credit union. When he started Be a Better Me, CSE was a big sponsor. They did a lot of work with getting them going. Our first toy drives and stuff were in their parking lots. They were huge supporters. And my wife would come home and be like, okay, Saturday we're going to do this, and Friday we're going to do this. And, I've got an ex-wife, so I learned how to listen to the next wife. So I say, yes, dear.
We're
yes,
so
dear.
witty today.
That's every day. So we started volunteering. I really liked what Lamar was doing. I liked being a part of it, and just started being there. Lamar is infectious to be around. So
Yes.
we became friends. We've become partners. As the foundation's grown, I've grown with it. I went to and became a board member, and then a position opened up. He asked me to be the vice president, and now my job is to basically I reel in Lamar. Lamar comes and says, I got this idea. And I'm like, well, we can do it this way. He's the dreamer. And I guess Lamar says everybody needs a Jimmy. I'm the guy behind him that makes everything happen, I guess. So
Who's Jimmy?
That's me.
Well, what is a Jimmy?
What is a Jimmy? The guy that you say, I want this to happen.
You. Oh my God. I'm thinking James. I'm not thinking.
Yeah, no.
I need more.
Okay.
So
yeah, it's
okay.
foundation's amazing. I love doing it.
I probably know your wife because I go to CSE.
Yeah.
Deidre gave me a loan, and that's how I met Deidre.
Okay.
Lamar.
Yeah.
I met him working through ICANN because he has to come in there and take some of the irate peeps out.
Yes.
So, great people, genuinely great people, big hearts. They're not fake people doing this for any glory.
Yeah.
That's what I like about them.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about you.
Well, thank you. It's just, it's amazing, working with the kids, seeing the difference that you can make.
Yeah.
It's a reward that you get every day. And I love it.
I do too. I got to speak. Deidre asked me to speak, and you had to, and I had already spoken. And I would do that. There's always fresh kids too, so I would probably do that again. But I had spoken. Some things about kids is they don't have self-confidence. These girls,
right? Yeah.
And something that I always say at the end of every show, and I have for the past 6 years, is love yourself. Us girls, we don't love ourselves. And if we don't love ourselves, how could anyone else love us?
Right.
So I'd gotten them all handheld mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I said, you know, every day I want you to look into that mirror and tell yourself you love yourself until you believe it. And I want you to believe it, you know, so it's a great foundation. So what else have you been doing? What else keeps James sober? What else is going on in your life? Because you've got one heck of an active life since I have talked to you 6 years ago. 6 years ago.
You know, life is busy, but I always, I'm still very active with my program. You know, I realized very early on in my recovery that I needed to make it fun. I needed to enjoy my time. You know, there's people that are, well, recovery is no fun. Sobriety is no fun. I don't know what to do. I can do anything that anybody else can do. I just don't drink. But I also realized that the people in the program around me, I needed to be fun. So a lot of my circle, a lot of my friends are people from the program. I have a home group. We actually, I'm a cigar guy. So we actually started a Canton Cigars Smokers AA meeting. We meet every Wednesday. We met at the cigar shop. Every Wednesday, there's 10 to 20 guys sitting around smoking a cigar, having a discussion meeting. And in this new world that we're in now, at 7:30 tonight, it's Wednesday, my Zoom will light up and I'll have a cigar with the guys. We've been averaging 10 to 16 guys every Wednesday. It's a great discussion meeting. We've had people from England, people from New Jersey, people all over. So I mean, that's my go-to every week. I try to at least do another one or get something going on. But like I said, you know, my work is there's not a day that goes by that I don't have some sort of program or recovery within work. You know, so I'm lucky that way. I get to go to work, I get to get paid, and some days I just talk recovery.
And that's all. And I get to do that too. And I love that. That works because it helps us.
Yep.
And one of the things I want from you is how someone can get involved in that Zoom after. I'll put it up on the website under your title, because that is the way we're going to be going in life.
Yeah.
And what a great way for someone to enjoy getting together, having a meeting.
Yeah.
You know, for some people, they're introverts.
Yeah.
And they don't want to shake your hand. When I go to a meeting, I take some of my clients to a meeting. I'm a mix, introvert, extrovert. But I don't want to shake your hand. I can't stand shaking hands. Hate it. And I walk around with a spray because I'm germaphobe. So you shake my hand, I'm spraying it. You shake my hand, I'm spraying it. I hate it.
See, now you're normal.
Yeah, right? Right. So this works out great. So we'll definitely have to get that. And I like that.
I think it's interesting. We had a gentleman brought up the topic last week in our meeting, and he said, you know, he felt bad for people that are getting sober now because this world is so different and recovery is looking so different.
Yes.
But I take a different approach. I don't think so. I think if it was 5 years ago and there was no Zoom, there was no, you know, face media all over the place, yes, it would be difficult. But right now, we've been sober a couple days. We've been lazy before and said, I don't feel like getting up. I'm in my sweats. I'm on the couch. I'm not going to a meeting tonight. Yeah, but you know what? On Wednesday nights, you know, I even did that on Wednesdays, my go-to meeting. Wednesdays, I don't do that because I walk out here, I sit in my little garage lodge. It doesn't matter. I don't even have to have pants on. So, you know.
We don't need to know that.
I do, maybe. But I think that this time, you know, how many times were you working with somebody? They're like, well, I don't have a car. I can't get to the meeting. I can't get here. Well, you know what? Everybody's got a phone. Everybody's got a way. Everybody's got a means. We used to look at them and say, if you want it, you'll get there. Well, now all you got to do is turn it on and look at it. And the recovery's there. It's everywhere.
Well, I do have clients, one that's very active in AA
Mhm.
who doesn't have Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
He is dying for a meeting. He is so bored. He spent his life at meetings. He
Right.
walks to them. I drove him. He doesn't know what to do with himself,
Right.
because he can't get on internet, and he doesn't have that type of phone either.
Mhm.
So I can't find a phone number that he can listen to a meeting. So I don't even know what to do for him.
There's the Facebook group Recovery Warriors. If you
Yes,
scroll
I'm
through
on
there,
that.
there's actually telephone meetings, conference call type meetings. And I mean, I'm sure if you were to put out or look out, you could find Wi-Fi pretty much anywhere. He just needs to get a device. Somebody's got an old tablet. Somebody's got some sitting at home. It's the same that I would think is it's there. The availability is there. I mean, it's like I said, there's phone calls, there's everything is there. I think it's an amazing, it's a different time. It's a different recovery than what we're used to, but somebody who got sober today, this is the recovery they know.
Right. And this is good for
Mhm.
them. I think he also looks for the group to talk to people, because he's
Yeah.
always secluded in his apartment. So I think he likes that too.
Mhm.
So, and so this is going to be a little difficult of a transition for him.
Yeah, definitely.
So the meetings, I'm sure, will be opening up in the next couple of weeks.
Mhm.
A little
Yeah,
different.
I think we'll see. We'll see more coming. But I also think that this type of format's going to stick around too.
And I like this format. I really, really do. So I think this is great. So what else, James? Is there anything else? We're approaching the end here. I feel like a Doors song. This is the end. I don't like the Doors either, but I know. Don't shoot me. Is there anything you'd like to add and tell us? Is there, something I'm missing that you've done in this amazing 6 years since I've spoken to you on, interviewing you?
It's been a journey. It's funny to have these bookends here with us talking today. It really does put it in perspective. And it also makes you reflective.
Yes,
There's been a lot of ups and there's been a lot of downs, but here's the thing. I stuck to my program no matter what's happened, no matter good days, bad days. I'm still here and I'm still sober. And I really am. I'm nothing special. I am an average guy who does average things and has gotten lucky with some of the opportunities I've had. But I truly believe I'm proof that if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Well, first of all, I don't think you're an average guy, okay? But I do believe if I can do it, anybody can do it, because that is very true. Anybody can do it.
Yep.
You just have to want to.
That's it. And you got to keep going.
Because it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. And if you think it's easy, you're fooling yourself.
Right.
Because it's probably going to be the hardest thing you've ever done.
I agree.
So, but I don't know. So, James, this has been an awesome interview for me, kind of getting to see where you've been for the last 6 years. Listening to your interview 6 years ago, you've come so far. And for me to sound like, say I'm proud of you sounds kind of strange, but I'm proud of you.
Thank you. And I think you need to give yourself some credit too, because you got to reflect a little on yourself. Look at your 6 years. Look at us sitting here today.
Yeah. Not to give myself a pat, but I have definitely come a very long way in 6 years, actually. And that's just the thing. And that is something for us to be teaching people that are listening right now, is that we're not stagnant. If we're stagnant, that's not a good thing. You got to keep moving, and you got to keep growing. And you can. The opportunity is there to grow.
Yep.
And I've definitely grown, and not everything's been good.
No.
Everything been good?
No, not everything. But here's the thing. Everything that's happened, good or bad, I still stayed sober, and it's still better because of sobriety. That I can say without a doubt.
Yep, me too. So, James, I want to thank you again for being a guest today and being on my show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And I want to thank all of you for listening to another episode of Your Voices of Hope. If you would like to be a guest on my show, please go to my website, yourvoicesofhope.com. If you would like, please like me on my website or on my Facebook page, and please go there. You could also go to the message box on Facebook and send me a message there if you'd like to be a guest. And also, as always, please love yourself. Bye, James.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Your Voices of Hope with your host, Michelle Byer. This podcast and earlier programs are available for viewing on our Facebook page, Your Voices of Hope, or our website, yourvoicesofhope.com. A new podcast is uploaded and ready to view every Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m.
Keep your head up, keep your